Hey everybody, welcome to another show. Welcome to another show. What a day. Sorry I'm a minute late. I woke up late this morning. I had a project that was due at work late, and I actually made it like that close to the wire. But it should have been earlier. And the train was late. So my entire night was a little bit late and delayed. It's one of those days, guys. But they've been happening a lot more lately. It's because I'm so freaking distracted. But anyway, welcome to the show. Hello, Falco. Thanks for joining. Thank you for anyone else that is joining and watching us that is not chatting. No problem. We love you anyway, and we appreciate you watching. But I will have to ask if you could hit that like button for me. That would really, really be appreciated. And so hit that like button if you could share the stream, let other people know we're live so they can join us. And of course, consider subscribing if you like what you see, if you're not already a subscriber. If you are not, and it's your first time with us, welcome. Appreciate you joining the Hickson Diaries for the evening. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope you have a good time with us. And just to give you a little heads up, I am an American, in case you couldn't tell. Living here in England for the past 18 months or so. And basically, this channel is about my experiences here in England and learning new things, reacting to stuff, and just having a good chat about assimilating to the culture and all that kind of stuff. So if that sounds like something that you'd like, please consider subscribing. At the very least, please consider watching till the end. I appreciate it. And if you're watching this later on the rerun, to pull out a really, really old term, if you're watching this later on the replay, thank you for joining us and giving us a shot. And consider joining us live. We are live every Tuesday at 8 o'clock UK time. Okay. So today we have I think, a pretty good show for you. We're going to talk about my question of the week because it's a tad controversial and some of the comments were interesting. So I want to talk about that. Let's get all of y'all's takes, all of y'all's takes on that. We're also going to do, I've never seen the Tower of the Poppies, and that popped up on my feed, and I was really interested in that. As you guys know, we have a partnership with the Royal British Legion, and a cause that is very near and dear to my heart. We donate a portion of all of our proceeds to the Royal British Legion every month. And for those of you who don't know, the Royal British Legion helps veterans and their families with things that they would need, whether they need any medical care, they need clothing, they need assistance finding housing, anything like that. Them and their families, they help out. And there's a lot of veterans that do watch this show, so I appreciate your service. And it is, like I said, it's a cause that's very near to dear to me because my father was a veteran in America. So it's definitely something that I support, and something that a way for me to say thanks, because I know he was very involved in some veterans associations in America, and it meant a lot to him. And I know that obviously the UK Army, the British Army, and the American Army are allies in a lot of cases. So I'm happy to support it, and thank you for your service in advance. So we're going to talk about the Tower of the Poppies, which is cool. Going to be cool, and I also have a case I have to lay out for you guys, and I need your opinion, honest opinion, and honest feedback, because it's something I've been struggling with. But anyway, as always, as we go through all of our topics, make sure that you comment, send in super chats or whatever, and we will read them aloud and react and have an open discussion. I need your help. Before we get started, though, one thing. I still need a name to the show. I need a name. I'm really, really struggling with the name for the show. And I've had a couple suggestions, but I'm gonna try to figure a way to have a contest or something about it. So yeah, I don't know all the details yet. Basically, if you have a suggestion for a name for the show, so I can do an intro and an outro and look a little bit more professional as I'm upgrading all my systems, that would be great. You can either put it in the chat, put it in the comments below, or send me an email if you want, or DM me. I'm at the Hickson Diaries on X, which is formerly known as Twitter, or you can send me an email at hicksondiaries@gmail.com. And also, if you have any suggestions for reacts or some ideas you want to talk about, some video ideas you want to see, just let me know and we can work on that as well. Hi, Roy Cousins. Thanks so much for joining. I hope you're doing well. So if you do have a suggestion for the name, do let me know. And what we have so far is Live With Me, A Yank in the Brits, and A View from the Other Side. They're not bad. I think that's a pretty good start. If you guys got something better, though, make sure you let me know. Or if you have any comments about those, let me know as well. Okay. Let's get started. So today's show, I need to talk to you about work again. Sorry, I know we've talked about that before, but I am having a hard time adjusting to the work culture here in England. So let me tell you where I am. So obviously there's a huge culture difference in how people work here in England versus America. America is much more strict. They're much more it's much more of an environment that you live to work. It's much longer hours, and labor doesn't have as many rights, etc. You don't have as much time off, etc., etc. So in those aspects, I'm enjoying working here in England a lot. Obviously, I get good time off. I have a better work-life balance. And when something does happen, when I'm late or something comes up, I'm able to, adjust my schedules accordingly. And that's been really, really great. Also, I have a guaranteed contract, which is amazing as well, because you don't really have that in America either, in most cases. In most cases, it's like a at-will environment. So you can leave at any time, but you can also get fired at any time. And notice is suggested, but it's not mandatory. So I'm liking that as well. But I'm not sure if the struggle that I'm having is a cultural thing or it's the environment that I'm working in. And I have brought it up before, and a lot of people have said it's management issues and things like that. But I kind of want to give you a little bit more detail because I'm not going to lie, I kind of feel like I'm being sabotaged a little bit. But hear me out. Let me make my case, and then I definitely want to know your thoughts at the end. So one example of something that's happened recently is I'm in purchasing. So when I issue a new order to a supplier, I have to send it electronically through the system, but we also email it out. So as I'm emailing it to the supplier contact, I have this tracker that I update in Excel. And it's just, I'm just writing down from every supplier what purchase orders out there, what the items are on there. So if someone asks me a question, it's just an easy reference for me to look up in case, to find out when it's coming in or how much is on order, all that kind of stuff. And this isn't something I implemented, it's something that was already going on. I'm just taking over. I do put a little bit more detail and stuff in it because I'm still learning the systems and all that. So someone emailed me today and said, "Oh, there's a purchase order that's not on the tracker. They couldn't do what they needed to do for their portion of getting the goods, the transport arranged." And it's not that big a deal. It's random or anything, but they copied everybody in my department, including my manager. And when I went in to check what was, to add the purchase order, I noticed that there was more detail added to that tab that I didn't add. Someone else had gone in and added to that tracker just below where the purchase order that I would have entered would have been in there. So I find it hard to believe that I made the mistake, only because I usually do it as soon as I hit send on the email, right? Anyways, so weird things like that happen a lot in this particular spreadsheet, as well as just overall. And it's really not that big a deal. Like, I don't really care, right? At the end of the day, I don't really care. But I cared more about the fact that everybody had to be notified about, one PO missing. It's not like the work wasn't done. It's not like it's not in the system, all that kind of stuff. So it's just that was a little bit weird and kind of was a red flag for me. And how I would have handled it if I saw that is I would have just maybe sent them a quick Teams message, or maybe just emailed them directly, just me and them, saying, "Hey, I was speaking to someone, they mentioned this PO, I don't see it on the tracker. Maybe you forgot. Is it okay if I add it?" Or something like that, just to make sure that there's not a reason it wasn't added, right? Or there's not something else going on with it behind the scenes. But again, that's how I would do it, and I have a different background, right? But that happens a lot. Whenever there's a mistake, no matter how big or small, it's always sent to the entire team, and my manager is copied. And maybe sabotage is a little bit too big of a word, it's too strong of a word. I don't think that people are sitting like at home intentionally trying to think of ways to like make me look bad or anything like that. I'm not that arrogant, right? But it does kind of seem like whenever there's a mistake, even the most minor mistakes, that they jump on it as an opportunity to show that I'm incompetent in some way. And I'm definitely 100% confident that they do not have my back. They've thrown, like, almost every team member that I work with has thrown me under the bus at least once since I've been there. Some of the times for things that were not my fault at all. And it's really difficult to work with a team that doesn't respect you and doesn't have your back, and is a difficult environment to work under. And I've worked with and for people that didn't really think that much of me, or didn't think I was talented or hired. I had one boss that told me that I would never make a lot of money because I'm a woman. And I even had a boss that said to me that he only hired me because he thought I was cute. So, like, I've worked under shitty circumstances. And I've handled it pretty well. And I usually can handle this well, but I feel like it's not one person. It's not even just the boss, where I could kind of figure out a way to just placate them and move on. You know what I mean? It's like everybody, it seems like. I'm being left out of meetings. I'm being left out of important discussions. I'm not being told when there's changes in protocols or changes in, like product development or planning, whether they're packing product or things like that. And when you're working in that condition, when I've worked in those conditions before in America, I was really, really comfortable with, my talent and my skill set and my attitude and my place, right? So I could handle it better because I could be like, I know I'm doing a good job, or I know I always had one coworker that was on my back, had my back, or was on my side, or understood where I was coming from at least. or willing to help me when I was having those, having a major problem. But they just don't have that here. And I'm actually having better relationships with people from other departments and even those managers than I am with my own team and my own manager. So it's really, I'm really in a difficult position, and I feel completely on my own at work all the time. And I have an expectation put on me that I have to remember every single detail of every single conversation, even when it might have changed, and I have to remember the timing of the change, and I have to be able to recall it at the drop of a hat. I've been there 6 months. I'm not trying to make an excuse for myself, but I just don't understand that way of working anyway. And I think everybody is different, so you should adjust your styles depending on who you're speaking with, who you're managing, etc. And I already feel like I am an isolated, on my own outsider because I'm such a fish out of water anyway, and I'm trying my best to assimilate. But I really feel like there's nobody in my immediate vicinity that I can count on, either when I have a question, when I make a mistake, when I'm not sure where to go. And I find myself questioning work that I know I can do because I've done it for so long. And lately, in the last couple months, my manager has barely engaged with me. A couple Teams messages here and there, replies to a couple emails, and that's it. Never stops at my desk to see how I'm doing anymore. She didn't really anyway, to be honest. But they really don't do it now. No, like when we're walking in the hall and they see me, they don't even say hello. They just look down and all ignore me like I'm not even there. I work for them. Nothing. And it's really exhausting. And I've found that it's just, I constantly feel like I'm being set up to fail, and I'm constantly kind of looking over my shoulder. And it's so uncomfortable. And I'm also becoming extremely whiny and a bit lazy because I'm like feeling like I might as well not even try if it doesn't really matter. And I only have a few months left on this contract anyway. I don't see myself working here long term, at least under these circumstances, definitely. And it's just not me. I don't work that way. I'm the person who's like, who will stop everything and try to help you if you're having a rough day, or if you're, even if I'm really busy, if you're having a really rough day and you need help or you need to vent or anything like that, like I'm usually that person. I'm usually, I want to be that person. I like being that person. I'm the one who wants to be like, oh, I have free time. I'll jump in and help out someone else that's struggling or something. Or, that people rely on and people go to when they have questions and stuff. And so it's just a really strange environment. It's really hard to not be lazy and complacent right now. And it's frustrating me because I know that's not who I am, and I know that's not how I normally work. Anyways, that's where I am at work right now. And I'm really struggling to try to figure out if it's a cultural thing or if it's, they feel threatened by me in some way, or if I'm really just like, it's just it's obviously not a good fit for me, right? For a long-term situation. But is it just that, like, I don't work the way they work and they find that uneasy on their part in some way? I don't know. Or they're trying to convert me to work their way. I'm not sure what it is. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. If you think I'm overreacting or something, then let me know, because it is very, very possible that it's just a cultural thing and I'm just, kind of taking it personally. But it's been going on for several months. I think the first 2 months I was there, it was nice and everyone was friendly and everything. But the minute one person tried to throw me under the bus and I stood up for myself, ever since then, it's just been going downhill from here. And it feels really, really, it just feels bad. Like it just feels horrible to go to work every day under those conditions. And I like working. I really enjoy actually working. I wish I could work from home, but I do enjoy working. And typically I enjoy friendly banter with my coworkers, but right now I'm just struggling. So I don't know if I'm overthinking it, overreacting, taking it personally, or if you think maybe some of my complaints are justified. But if you have any thoughts that might help me or advice or anything, please let me know in the comments. I appreciate it. But that's where I am. I'm sorry, I feel like I always bitch about work. Guys, I do really appreciate it. But I really it's something that I'm struggling with here. And to be completely fair, I haven't had to struggle that much. I mean, there's been little struggles here and there, and I do get homesick and stuff every once in a while. But overall, I've been able to adapt pretty well over the last 18 months. But this job has definitely taken its toll on me. And it's getting like every day I like have to give myself a pep talk to either get to work or get like finish the day without losing my mind. You know what I mean? And there have actually been days where I've been so stressed or so agitated by a specific instance that I've actually like cried from the stress on my way from work to the train station. I'm usually fine like 5, 10 minutes in because it's just stress. It's not like I'm really upset about it or really hurt about it or anything. But it just I haven't been in that position in a really long time. And that bothers me. It's only happened like once or twice, but it has happened. Anyway, so let's check in with y'all. Don't forget to hit that like button and, send in your chats for me. Fabulous says, look what happened with IT at the post office. I don't know what you're talking about. Is that a reference I should know? I feel like it's something I should know. And now I feel stupid. Rich, thank you so much. Appreciate you joining us. As someone who owns a few businesses, I'd expect minor stuff to be sorted between the staff. It sounds like the management aren't setting the right tone. Well, I have to admit, this manager is terrible. A terrible management style. Does not, for me personally, I can't work under it. And also the environment's a little bit cliquey. Like the people that have been there a really long time are all like friends and can have a laugh and banter. And then if you try to jump in, you're kind of shunned because you're not a part, you haven't been there or whatever. I don't know. And I know that's a little bit of a British culture thing where it's like you have to warm up to that person and you have to have kind of a foundation in order to like make fun of them, take the piss and all that kind of stuff. I totally understand that. But I thought we kind of had that for a bit and then it just feels like it's completely crumbled, but it could have just been me misinterpreting everything. It doesn't sound like a healthy environment to you either, Roy. Okay. Someone on my side. 6 months is no time in a job. Give it 15 years and you'll fit in. 15 years? No, thank you. I couldn't do this for 15 years, I don't think. Maybe if I worked from home, I could, but I don't. I think part of it too is like I don't really have a break because it's kind of a remote area. I don't drive. I can't like go and drive somewhere or sit in my car for half an hour and like actually just completely disconnect. So I take my breaks in the office and I don't really have an escape, I guess. So that might be part of it as well. In all fairness. So if I'm having a bad day, I don't really get to like have a break, and breathe and then come back to it. I could just go like outside for a walk or something, which I was doing for a bit, but then it got a little bit crazy and I ended up working through my lunch. I got into a bad pattern, I think, working through lunch and eating at my desk. That might be part of it. The best managers usually know everyone in their department. I have an open door policy with my staff. Sounds like a company to work for. Be blunt, not cultural. Mm. See, here's the thing: is I've been a manager, so I get that there's sometimes these like stupid squabbles and disputes, and they're annoying and they're kind of high school. Well, to use an American term, they're school related, right? Like they're young, and you're just like, shut up, just move on. We're all adults. Like, let's suck it up. But you have to figure it out as the manager, right? Because you need your team. And I've been able to do that. Like I've been able to work with a lot of different personalities for a long time, and I just can't seem to figure out how to get that trust, you know? It doesn't sound like a cultural thing. If you don't feel it can improve, I wouldn't stay. I hear ya. I have 5 months left on the contract, Rory, so I'm trying to stick it out till at least the end of the contract and then just, leave then, because my visa and stuff, I don't wanna be out of work because it's in process of renewal and all that. So, hi, TJ. Thanks for joining. Don't ever, ever apologize for being late. We all have lives. Totally understand. Got engrossed in making your hat. Is that your hat for your costume, your Hogwarts costume? I've been seeing a lot of your posts and stuff. They might think you're working too much. Get away from your desk. Is that a thing? Like, would that give people the wrong impression? Like that maybe I'm trying too hard or something? I didn't think of it that way. Because I mean, that's just how we work in America. Like, I've always worked at my I've always, not always, but I've often eaten at my desk, and you work 15 minutes early and 15 minutes late and stuff like that. So the IT post office scandal is the biggest UK misjustice of all time, and it's still ongoing. The IT post office scandal. All right, I don't know what that is, but I will look it up, Falco. Yeah, your Hogwarts costume. Yeah. I just, anyways, I can't wait to see what the finished product is going to be like, TJ. Anyways, I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens, I guess. There's nothing else I can do, right? At the moment. In a month or so, hopefully some of this stuff behind the scenes will iron out and I'll be able to look. There is an out in my contract. If I give a month's notice, I can leave. So it's not like I have to work out the contract. I was just trying to, I don't like quitting things. I'm not one of those people at all. So it's got to get to a point where I'm really I've exhausted all options, but I also don't want to quit without having another lead. So we'll see what happens, I guess. But thank you for your advice and thank you for your support. I appreciate it as always. Let's move on to something fun. So I put a question of the week out, as I do every Monday. So make sure you're checking out the community tab, y'all. If you're subscribers, if you're not a subscriber, go check out some of the posts and see if maybe that can convince you to subscribe, because we have lots of fun on the community tab. I feel like we do anyway. And that's, obviously important. But I want you guys to have fun too. And normally I don't always go over these questions and stuff with everybody, but this one seemed to have a bit of a controversy around it. So the question is, which beloved British TV show do I absolutely hate? And there's a few people that got it and a few people that didn't. So I just wanted to read a couple of comments about it. So I was under the impression that Mrs. Brown's Boys was a really popular sitcom here because at least, I don't know, a dozen British people told me to watch it, even when I lived in America. And I did watch it, but to be honest, I didn't find it hilarious. It was fine, but I also had a little bit of trouble understanding them, to be honest with you as well. um, so that struck me as a little bit strange. Maybe I was just misinterpreting or misunderstanding, but um, and people arguing with me, obviously. Though the other one was EastEnders. It's not really a sitcom, is it? Um, EastEnders is obviously extremely popular here as well. It's been on for a really long time too, I think, right? Your soap operas are a little bit strange to me. I have um I have a hard time following them. They move really, really quick. Maybe that's what it is. I'm just used to American soap operas. I've honestly haven't watched an American soap opera in a long time either, but um American soap operas seem to be kind of drug out comparatively. So maybe that's what it is. The other one is the IT Crowd, which I've only seen a few episodes of, and I did like, but I just didn't think it was hilarious. But overall, the answer is Only Fools and Horses. Yes, Falco, you got it right. Only Fools and Horses. I think it's dumb. I do. I think it's dumb, and I think they're kind of mean. What I can't remember the characters' names, but not the main one, but the like kind of goofy brother. They're just mean to him. I don't think it's funny. Like, I mean, you can call me like woke or you can whatever. But I don't care, but I just don't think it's funny to be mean to people on purpose for no reason. Um, Especially when the doofus is like the main guy. He's an idiot. I just don't find it funny at all. A lot of people seem to disagree with me. Some people saying I'm obviously making a mistake. And I know they have a live show now too of Only Fools and Horses, and I know people that have gone to see it and said it was hilarious. And I'm not usually a big fan of that stuff, but there's a live show of Faulty Towers, which is my all-time favorite British comedy. And I saw that live and I really liked it. It was basically a few episodes that kind of combined into a show, but it was still fun. So I don't know if it's like a fandom thing that it's good, or whether it's a good show or it's like a fandom thing where they say it's a good show. But I can't stand Only Fools and Horses. So much so that it's in my wedding vows that I never have to watch it again. I literally wrote in my wedding vows, I made my partner promise me that I would never have to watch it again. And Mrs. Brown's Boys, I just didn't think that was that funny. Some of it was funny, some of it I didn't understand, and some of it I just didn't think was funny. IT Crowd is good. It was pretty good, but it wasn't like groundbreaking or anything. And EastEnders just I couldn't follow it. Only Fools and Horses is legendary, apparently though. And EastEnders and Mrs. Brown's Boys are awful. Only Fools and Horses is great, and the irony is ridiculous. The irony and ridiculousness of the characters of the show is hilarious. I just think it's silly. Only Fools is a family favorite for you, Rich. Okay, that's fair. I mean, I'm not gonna hate on you if you do like it or you disagree with me, but I just I don't know. Punk in Drublick, which is kind of a good handle, says, "Who cares? I've never watched shit enders though." Okay, these kinds of comments make me laugh because I'm like, if you don't care, then why are you commenting? Just move on. It's okay. I'm not gonna hate on you. I don't mind. It's fine. I'm not for you. I'm not for everybody. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I get it. It's fine. But I don't understand why you feel the need to comment then. If I'm watching something and I'm like, oh, this person's annoying, I don't write, hey, you're annoying. I just move on. Yeah, they're probably trying their best. Shit happens. It's fine. Anyways, someone said Mrs. Brown's Boys is Willie Bald 1007 says Mrs. Brown's boys are utterly dire. I didn't get it. Some of it I was just, I don't know if it was political stuff or something. I just don't understand, or like, again, might be a cultural thing. I know there is a cultural barrier in a lot of this stuff that I don't get. And I know that things like Faulty Towers are really simple and it can kind of translate easier that way. So it might be why, I like those types of things better, but I liked The Office a lot. I actually like the English version better than the American version, which I got shit for in America. Yeah. Johnny H. Mash says, nailed it. People quote Only Fools and Horses like Shakespeare, the single most overrated comedy ever made. Jokes you can see coming from Alaska, but at least Alaska is funny. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe I just like, I can see where this is going. That's why it's not entertaining for me. I don't know. But it's not like I don't know. I really like a British comedy. I really like sketch comedies and stuff. And there's a lot of repetitiveness in those. But I do really like them still. So I don't know. Are we Piper joined us. Hello, Piper. They're all awful in my opinion, TJ says. Hello. Okay. I mean, again, none of them are really my favorites, to be honest. Out of the 4, IT Crowd is probably the one I would pick to watch out of the 4. I can recommend a show that you may like. It's toned down and easy to watch. The Detectorists. The Detectorists. Never heard of it, but I will make a note of that. Thanks, Falco. Lisa Blumiere has a suggestion for a channel name. Well, it's actually not the channel name. It's the show, the podcast live stream show. But I appreciate the suggestion anyway. Treading Water Across the Pond. See, I do like that. I like the Treading Water reference. Across the Pond is another channel though, so I don't want to rip someone's shit off. You know what I mean? But I do like where you're going. I like the spirit of it. Treading Water is an interesting one. Let me write that down. If I don't write it down, I will forget and I will lose it. Oh, someone else said American Abroad facts, reacts, and chats. Eh. I don't know how I feel about that one either. Only Fools is very British. Yeah. Failing main characters and banter between family members. Simon the Bunny, thank you for joining. I don't know if we've seen you here before, but I appreciate you joining us. What state am I from? I am from New Jersey. I grew up in New Jersey, but we lived in Pennsylvania before we left. I quite like Miranda as well. Miranda's a comedy, Piper. Is that right? Because I don't know that one if it is. Clash of the Cultures, a play on Clash of the Titans. Interesting. Would you guys be interested in holding a little contest about this? You guys got some good ideas. Maybe I pick a few of my favorites and put it out on the community, and whatever one gets the highest, that person gets a prize. How do y'all feel about that? How about Mandy starring Diane Morgan? Bizarre but funny. Is there really a show called Mandy? Oh, Miranda's a comedy. I will check it out. I will definitely check out Mandy as well. So we got Mandy, the Detectorists, Outnumbered. I've seen My Family, Piper. I have seen My Family. I did like that one. And Mandy. Interesting. Interesting, y'all. Thanks. Always, always, always appreciate it. And let me know what y'all think about having a little contest. Maybe I can think of a good prize. Maybe I'll give prizes for the top 3. The grand prize would be the one that gets picked, and then we use. My mind is going. Alrighty, so let's move on to the last segment here. We're going to watch the Tower of London Poppies. This popped up on my feed the other day, and I was gonna watch it on my own, and I thought this would be a really good one. Sorry, my foot's itchy. This would be a really good one to watch on the channel because of our affiliation and everything. So, and I love, we do poppies in America as well, similarly, for Veterans Day and Memorial Day. And my dad always sold them, always stood outside the, supermarkets or whatever and sold them. I think they're like $1 or something like that. Or he took whatever donation. I think they take whatever donation you can offer. And he always used to bring home, he always used to save a couple for me and my sister and things like that. So he did that even while we were adults. He did it for the kids and everything as well, the grandkids and everything. So, that's something I think that I just identify a lot with. And that was one of the things that drove me to the RBL. But I have to say that you Brits do it much, much better. You make it a huge event, and a lot more people get into it and really just embrace it. So I really enjoy that part of the culture here when it comes around to that time of year. So let's see what this is all about. Not TV. In 2014, artists Paul Cummins and Tom Piper, along with historic royal palaces, had a vision to fill the moat of the Tower of London with 888,246 ceramic poppies, 1 poppy for every British and colonial fatality during the First World War. 21,688 people volunteered to install the poppies. 5 million people traveled around the world to see them. Oh my God, that must have been incredible to see in person.
I was just in awe of how many people were here. Honestly, it's just really nice to see the support from the whole city.
Such a lovely way to commemorate it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Magic.
Yeah.
Really moving. It is very moving. Tremendous.
Whether it's young people or old people, they've come in their hundreds, they've come in their thousands, and they've stood on the behind the railings, looking down.
Wow! Look at that! Look at that shot, man! What a good shot!
Into the moat, really from early in the morning until late at night. And I think why it's caught the imagination of the country is this particular number of 888,246. They fought in mass armies, but they were individual soldiers. And each poppy represents an individual life lost and a family shattered. I think people can understand that.
My son was in the army as well. He served in Ireland, he served in Bosnia, and when I see that, I'm just really, really grateful that he came back.
My mother is from Canada, and her, I believe, grandfather was a spy in the war. So my mom wears a poppy every year.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's appreciation. It's always a little bit of appreciation. I mean,
What are those people called again? I can't pearlies or something like that. Is that right? Let me know.
my father died from his injuries from the Second World War. My mum lost 4 brothers through the First World War too, so obviously that's where my passion comes from. But we're all in the same boat. You know, you have 4 or 5 before you them. This wouldn't be London, so, and I love London.
And so I think it's become a kind of a place of pilgrimage, not just a place where you see this artwork, or not just a place of commemoration because it's here. It's just become a kind of national focus. It started us asking questions about who we are, what are we doing when we're commemorating? How warlike are we as a nation?
The thing about this is it reminds you that these people were human beings, just as you are a human being, just as the military personnel are human beings, and that interconnection, it's kind of everything. It breaks down the barriers of them versus us, or just a vast quantity of numbers. And I was at the closing sort of ceremony today, and the last poppy got put in, and by a little boy, and you think, that's a life, and you look around and there's more than 800,000 more lives, and it does hit you. Sometimes you look at the vastness of it and it's beautiful but hard to comprehend, and then this one poppy goes down and you think, okay, yeah, this is rather a lot.
Yeah. We've had so many volunteers, so many people making the poppies, the whole of the Yemen water staff, the HRP staff, number of people involved has been enormous. And I think unusually for a large artwork, it isn't then dominated by a single person or a single ego of an artist. In a sense, though me and Paul treat ourselves and believe that we are artists and this is an artwork, because we've been very open about it, I think we've allowed so many other people into it to take ownership of it. Nobody that you've met on the project.
It's really, I'm getting emotional, so bear with me. That's first of all, that's incredible. I mean, just the optics of it are incredible to think of. But yeah, the fact that there's so many people that like participated and came a part of it, and it came together for this unbelievably incredible display. It's really powerful. Wow, really powerful. This is why I love art. This is why I love art in all its forms, because one single idea can bring nations together. It's incredible. Art has to be protected, because things like this would not be possible without it.
Many other people into it to take ownership of it.
Nobody that you've met on the project has been a bad seed. It's been a bunch of love, a load of stories that you really love to hear, and just the community has come I'm from from US, and the UK spirit here has made me really proud that I moved here. I've been here 7 years, and I love the spirit of this project. It's just been
something like this would happen in America, but it would be commercialized and just politicized, and it would be relentless. It would lose the spirit.
Amazing.
So I agree with her. As an American, it's just a completely different feel when stuff like this happens in Britain. It doesn't have that kind of undertone of like capitalism or commercialism or politicism that a lot of these types of events have in America.
So
people are able to bring their own family stories to it. Grandparents can explain to their grandchildren how they connect into this story of our nation.
You just have to remember, I mean, they gave their lives so that we can live in peace today, and you know, what greater gift can you give than your life?
I think it's very important to remember. I think it's a good thing because we're remembering people who've done something for us and who've lost their lives while doing that. And the least we can do, obviously, is remember them.
We've invited members of the public to send in the names of a loved one who lost their lives in the First World War. And we've read out about 200 every evening. And we've done that every evening from the 5th of August through until today. I read the last list at 11 o'clock on the 11th.
Lieutenant MJD's Victoria Cross, Royal Fusiliers.
The installation is going to live on in a new, different way in the next 4 years. You know, that there's the first thing, which is that them all going out to the general public, the people who bought them, and them having their own kind of tiny fragment of the installation. And then there are the two sculptural pieces which have been kindly bought for the nation, and we can take to various different locations to create some new installations relating to new buildings or new landscapes that can create a different kind of narrative on a smaller scale. And then the fact those are going to the Imperial War Museum and will be there, you know, for a long time as a focus for commemoration.
I've just come out of the
You say the Imperial War Museum. Is it still there? Because I know this is old. The video, at least, is older. Because if it's around, or even a portion of it's around, I'd like to see it in person. So if you guys know anything about that, please let me know in the chat.
Of the volunteers office, and there's what we call the measle map, which is a little red dot on every part of the map where the volunteers have come from, and it goes from Singapore to Iceland, from Guinea, Sierra Leone to the west coast of the United States. It's an absolutely incredible geographic spread, and I think that the names on the roll of honour every night have come from all over the Commonwealth countries, and then these poppies are going off around the world. And what we really want to
just look at that.
Happen is that we want to send these poppies home now. The soldiers never got to go home, but you know, a lot of them will.
They shall grow not old, as we who are left grow old. Age shall not weary them.
Wait, did they really send all the? So, did they send the poppies back to the families? Because that would be better than putting them in a museum, in my opinion. But holy that definitely was more powerful than I thought it was going to be. Wow, that was beautiful. And I know I said it then, but this is why art's important, because it captures emotion and it captures moments in time that I don't want to say you forget, but it's not at the forefront of your mind, right? In most cases on a regular basis, because life just takes over and other things happen. Like there's things happening now, right, that we need to concentrate on and be aware of. And then you think about this and you're like, especially if you consider the climate that we're in right now, right? And the things that are happening in the Middle East right now and the turmoil that's going on in a lot of places and the uncertainty. And you're thinking, do we really want to do this again? Do we really want to get into this again? This is the cost. This is the reality, right? And people forget this part of it. And they do it for all these other reasons, not thinking about what the actual end result is going to be in hundreds of thousands of lives. That was amazing. That was really amazing and powerful. And I appreciate sharing it with you guys. Give me a second to cleanse myself here. All right. Let's catch up with y'all. Piper said, I'm pretty sure my first time visiting the Tower of London was to see the poppies, and it was beautiful. Oh, wow. That was, I'm sure it was, I'm sure it would have been incredible to see in person. I could imagine like I would have definitely went and fought the crowds and paid whatever I had to pay to see that. I mean, that would have been insane. Yeah, I got pretty emotional myself. Piper. Pearly Kings and Queens. Yeah, that's the thing. They're like a band or something, right? It's like the Mary Poppins section. That's how I originally was introduced to it, but I know it's real as well. But Falco says he knew a lot of people that were involved in this, and it was a while ago now. Yeah, I know it was a while ago, but like I said, the video just popped up on my feed and I didn't know anything about it, so I definitely didn't want to pass it over. TJ says, have you seen an outside London Remembrance Parade? If not, I recommend Sunderland Remembrance Parade 2019 by Mike Walker Camera, just so I can see my son on the parade. Is your son in that? Everybody go check this out. I'm writing it down. I'm putting it in my React list. I'm going to watch it on here for you. (2019) Mike Walker Camera. I'm going to check that out. Thank you, TJ. Everybody check it out. Is your son really in that? Because that is incredible. The poppies were sold to the public for charity. My brother has one. Okay. Okay. That's like, I was at first, my gut reaction was a little disappointed it didn't go to the families, but it is for charity. So I don't hate it. In the White Tower, the Tower of London, they have a wall dedicated to information about this event. I haven't been to the Tower of London in a really long time, but I might have to. I'm not sure what you're, I'll have to check it out. I'm not sure what you're referring to, Falco. Where are you? Oh my gosh, your son is in there. Oh, he must be so proud. Of course, I will play it on one of our streams, TJ. I've had enough. That was emotional. That was one of the most beautiful displays of respect and admiration and thanks that I've seen for veterans in a really long time. He stuck out like a sore thumb, did he? Hi, Sam K. Welcome. You made it. You missed some fun things, but glad to have you here anyway. So I got to check a bunch of these comedies out, and I definitely got to check out this this parade one. Hello, Bex. Welcome. YouTube didn't remind you. You know, I think there's something up with YouTube, and I'm not trying to I already got emotional, Falco. I'm well past it. Piper worked at the Tower of London. There you go. It's a different perspective when it's your job, right? Than when it's outside of your job, when you see it from that perspective. I get you. I do think there's something up with TJ. Sorry. There's nothing up with TJ. She's fine. There's something up with YouTube because yesterday I was looking at my viewer. Yesterday I was looking at my analytics, and my views were at a certain level, and they've been at that level pretty steadily for like, I don't know, months probably. And then all of a sudden today they dropped by like 60 to 70%. And I was like, really? I mean, it's fine if they dropped. It is what it is. But it was like a really significant drop. And I'm like, maybe maybe this isn't right. And then I looked at something else, and that analytics seemed off as well. And I was just like, what? It just seemed like it was a dramatic change overnight. But I know that made me cry. It did make me cry. I was this close to showing you your tears. Oh, thank you so much for the super chat. You're amazing, Sam. I appreciate it. Shout out. If you guys want to support the channel and you have a couple extra quid, you can send a super chat in now if you have the opportunity. If you don't, no worries, or you're watching this on the replay later, you can either hit that thanks button below the video, or there's a buy me a coffee link in the description box below, which I fixed the link. I know the link wasn't working for a while, but I fixed the link. And so it should be good to go now. There's no obligation though, because I understand times are hard right now. So really no obligation. But if you do want to support the channel, because some people have asked, because the membership program has been suspended for now, those are the good ways to do it. Or you can just like and subscribe, always good as well. Or just keep watching your favorite videos. Like I said, my views are down. So according to YouTube, apparently. There's nothing wrong with you, TJ. I'm sorry. I was just reading your comment. It came out. I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong with TJ, I promise. I don't know. There might be something wrong with you. I haven't met you in person, TJ, but as far as I can tell, you seem very lovely. Piper says, I was in retail just for the summer. I'm working a different summer job now, which will end soon, and I'll be unemployed once more. Yeah, that's the terrible thing about working temp, right? Like, it just is. I know. I'm in that situation. I was in that situation for a bit too. I'm kind of in it now. Like I said, I have a contract for the next couple months. That's why I'm trying to hold out for this silly job, but we'll see what happens. My initial was like, I want to go to Greece. So I got to hold out at least to be able to pay for Greece and have fun and have money to come back to, right? Now that's over. And now I'm like, maybe I can hold out till Christmas because it's not that far. Yes, thank you for the reminder, Sam. We have to give a shout out to Dame Maggie Smith, who was an incredible actress. I have been watching her for a long time, and I wanted to list my favorite iconic roles of hers I think are iconic. So the first one was in Hook, right, where she plays old Wendy. The next one was Sister Act, where she plays the Mother Superior. And the third one for me was where she played the elite socialite in the First Wives Club. She's just hilarious. I loved them. I love all three of them. I think she's hilarious. I think she was hilarious, and she was a great actress, and she deserved all the recognition and love that she had when she was alive and that she's receiving now and will, I'm sure, continue to receive for her work. Amazing, amazing actress, and you will be missed. R.I.P. Chris Christopherson. Yes, may he rest in peace as well. We've lost a few people in the last couple days or weeks. I wasn't as huge a fan of Chris Christopherson. I didn't know his work that well, but I've seen a lot of memes and posts about him, so I know he's also very beloved. I didn't know if he translated to England, to be honest. Yeah, I am sad that she is gone. She was in Clash of the Titans. I didn't see Clash of the Titans. There's a lot of stuff I think I haven't seen. I've seen her. I know I've seen her in a bunch of things. I know she's been in some TV shows and stuff too. But I mean, she's been around a long time. Good for her, though. Oh, that's right. She was in Harry Potter. That's right. She was. Oh, your partner worked on all the Harry Potter films, and Dave Magny was lovely. Really? Look at you. Wow, that's a pretty cool little brag. Not that I think you're bragging at all. I think you should. I mean, I would brag about it if it was me. I'd be like, oh yeah. Convoy is my favorite film. I don't know Convoy either. Interesting. You guys are giving me a lot of stuff to watch. I have to start doing the show daily in order to keep up with everybody. Piper's got a fun fact about the Tower of London to close us out. Did you know it used to be a zoo and the animals moved from there that started the London Zoo? I've seen pictures of it. I don't remember if it was when I was in the tower, because I visited a long time ago for the or if I've just like seen it since, but of like lions and stuff like that, like roaming around the outside. I'm assuming that's kind of what you're referring to, but I remember thinking that's crazy because it's the middle of the city. Like you're literally like they're gonna end up in the river or something. Like, what are you doing? And I remember reading that they were like a lot of them were like gifts from a lot of the Commonwealth and stuff in the Empire at the time. So no, I haven't seen Clash of the Titans. How very dare you? Go watch it now. Convoy is from 1977. I don't mind. I'll watch older movies. I don't care. I grew up on black and white movies, so and John Wayne and things like that. So I love that stuff. I watch anything. They had a polar bear in England. Interesting. They're all in the zoo now. I haven't been to the London Zoo. Is it good? I might have to start extending this to like an hour and a half. We'll have to see. I don't know. Anyways, I gotta go. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you all so much for your participation. I don't know if I'm getting over a cold or if it's still lingering. Like I had a cold. I felt better. And I've been sniffling a lot the last couple of days, but my child was sick. So I don't know if I'm like getting it back or if it's just still lingering. But what are we going to do? An hour and a half would be cool if possible. I could try that. Oh, thank you for sending the email. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Don't forget, if you have ideas for a name for this show, make sure you email me or DM me at the Hickson Diaries on X, formerly known as Twitter, or hicksondiaries@gmail.com. I'll put the information in a link below in case you're watching this later as well. And I'm thinking of a contest about this. So there will be at least one prize, if not a couple prizes. I have to put my head together to try to think of it. But I'm really eager to do this with you guys because I want it to be something you guys like too. You guys think is fun. Because I might think I'm clever. I usually think I'm clever, but I'm not always. It doesn't always actually come out the way I think it's coming out across the people. But anyways, thank you all for joining me. Hope you have a great rest of your week. There will be a vlog out on Saturday, and I don't know what the topic's going to be because I keep changing my mind. But even when I have something in mind on a Tuesday, by the time I go to film it and edit it, it's a completely different thing. But anyway, you guys stay safe. Have a great week, and I will talk to you next week. And yeah, don't forget the vlog on Saturday. Bye.